Welcome to another episode of Wayne's World Garage. After 9 years, we're finally going to get rid of the suicide stairs in this garage. So this garage, when we built it, has almost 13-foot high ceilings. From the floor to the top of the floor in the attic is 165 inches. And that makes it really hard to get up these stairs, because we put these normal built-in stairs in, which they did. We put these pull-down stairs in, which had 3 sections. And these 3 sections, you had to get up on a 10-foot ladder. When you pulled them down, they would attack you, and you'd almost fall off the ladder and die. Well, we didn't die, but it's really hard to use. It was unusable. But we kind of pushed the builder who built this garage to do that and to put the stairs in, because originally he was going to put a landing in and real stairs, but that would take up too much garage space. I didn't want to take up a lot of garage space, so we kind of pushed the envelope here with the stairs. He did what we asked him to do. He did a great job. As you'll see, more importantly, when we did this though, he put in trusses, okay, in anticipation of putting in big stairs or rail stairs. So the trusses are doubled up on 2 sides with a large distance between them. Instead of the standard 23.5 inches or whatever it is, 22.5 inches between the trusses, we ended up with 30 some odd inches. So we were able to get these stairs. We checked on the interweb and we found these things called Majic Stairs from these guys in Ocala, Florida. And we called them up on a Monday, did some measurements, and he said, well, we got a truck coming up your way on Friday. Let me know if you want them. By Friday night, the stairs were here. And then thanks so much to Baines Construction, Tom and Paul, on Monday and Tuesday, we got these things in and cranked away, and that's the story. So let me show you what we got. So I turn the lights off in here so you can see exactly what we've got anyway. The original opening was, whatever it is, 20 some odd inches wide by probably 6 foot long. And we increased the size of that to 29.5 inches by 119.5 inches between the headers in the joists. And that's what Tom and Paul helped us do and helped us get the stairs up. So the way this works is, it's on this little roller, and this roller motor, and you hit the down button. So let me hit the down button so you can see how this gig is. So the controller and the motor is made by this company called Somfy, S-O-M-F-Y. And the way it works is you hit the down button, and when you hit the down button, doggone thing starts coming down, and like, that's slick. Now, my recommendation is you don't stand in the way of it when it's coming down. I've never had a problem with it. I've only had it for a couple days running. But it kind of comes down and there you go. How cool is that? And as it's coming down, okay, he's got roller bearings here, and it slides on this little assembly, but the whole staircase, okay, comes down at a 45-degree angle, okay, and these are wide enough so you can walk up, and they've got handrails. And you can easily see now you've got a set of stairs that you can walk up and walk down without killing yourself like those crazy suicide stairs which we put in originally. And these work pretty well, actually. They work very well. You can walk up them, you walk down them, there's handrails up there. So here we are. The way it works is easily you can walk up and down here and just hold the handrail. How nice is that? So if you look at this, the height to the ceiling, because we've got the lift in here, is over 12 feet. It's, as I said, it's 165 inches or so from the floor to the top. And these stairs come down at a right angle. So if you do the math, okay, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So this might be C. So it turns out, forgetting Pythagorean's theorem and A squared and B squared stuff, look at the drawing, or as I say, RTFM, read the flippin' manual. And as you can see, you need 13 feet, on floor space here. It comes out from the opening, or almost 29 feet upstairs in the attic. That's a lot, but that's an important number to remember. And the opening in the floor has to be 29.5 inches wide. And that's what we did. So we already had, obviously, joists here, but we framed this out. We meaning Tom and Paul from Baines Construction, and we made it 119 inches long, because the whole assembly, when it's up and folded for the door, has to be 119 inches. Although the stairs, what happens is, when these stairs come up, okay, they slide up, and I'll show you that. They slide up and they go into this opening down here. And you better get your measurements right, because if you don't get your measurements right, you're going to have some problems. And it turns out, thank you so much to Jim Madden, from when he built this garage, we were thinking of putting stairs in here, real staircases. So he doubled up these trusses right here. So instead of one truss here, we've got two trusses here, another one right next to it. The distance between these trusses, so he could put stairs in, was 36 inches. Okay, well that's pretty cool. So they're doubled up on the left side, over here, and on the right side. And they go all the way across. And now the distance in this room up here is about 16 feet, okay, of floor space. But it's much bigger than that, because the garage is 25 feet from all the way to the back and all the way to the front. Or that'd be the back and that's the front. Whatever. You get what I mean. So the instructions say what you have to do is make an opening in the floor. An opening in the floor has to be 29.5 inches wide. And that's what we did. So we already had obviously joists here, but we framed this out. We meaning Tom and Paul from Baines Construction. And we made it 119 inches long, because the whole assembly, when it's up and folded for the door, has to be 119 inches. Although the stairs, what happens is, when these stairs come up, okay, they slide up, and I'll show you that. They slide up and they go into this opening down here. And you better get your measurements right, because if you don't get your measurements right, you're going to have some problems. So let me show you how these guys go up. All right, so here we are. We'll get these bad boys to come up. So you take this little remote, you hit the up button. When you hit the up button, they start moving. And the way they move, of course, is this little thingy here called a Somfy, probably pronouncing it wrong, S-O-M-F-Y. It's a motor they use for awnings. It's cranking these two cables up, and the thing's going uphill. It's FM, freaking magic. And it's close, but it seems to work all right. Don't put your fingers in there. Well, this thing has pretty good sensors for overload. So as soon as it senses a little bit too much current, it'll shut down very, very quickly. And all the brains for that stuff are inside this silver tubey thing here, Somfy motor. So there we're going up. And that's the story. And she's closed. Is that slicker and slick or what? So you'll see when this bad boy's up into place, okay, there's not a lot of room. And actually, it's so close going up and down that the nails, it hit the nails in the top of this guy up here. So I had to cut the nails out. Additionally, we adjusted the side of this little piece of wood here. Since the distance between these guys here is 36 inches instead of 24, code's 24, whatever it is. We didn't want the OSB to warp with the weight and sink down. So we had to adjust that a little bit. A couple of things I really like about this, everything is nicely powder coated. A lot of thought has gone into this. You know, this is not something he just figured out in 5 minutes. There's a lot of thought gone into this, a lot of engineering he's done, and it shows, it works out well. If I can complain about anything, which, you know, complaining is always fun to do, the manual could use some improvement. That's probably an understatement. The drawings, since it's custom made for this opening, okay, the drawings could be a little bit better, but we got to figure it out. We have a, between myself, Tom and Paul, you know, it's like three grumpy old men, and we got it rolling. It's not complicated at all, but you've got to just take your time, and there's a little bit of tweaking involved. These little yellow things down here, they can be adjusted back and forth. And as you can see, since this whole rail slides on this guy, if they're off, it's going to come and hit, okay, your trusses up here. Okay, we don't want that. But now, to go down, hopefully it'll go down because I'm stuck up here, hit the down button. And the reverse thing happens. This thing starts undoing itself. This thing comes within inches of hitting my roof, but it misses. And it comes within a half an inch of the truss. But when you think about it, that's kind of why you measure it carefully. Because if you look on this side over here, where this bad boy comes down, this thing is going to land. It's going to be very, very close to that, you know, the truss opening. He kind of designed it that way. So get your numbers right. You'll see so that distance right here, this distance here, half an inch or whatever it is, 3/4 of an inch, is the same distance you're going to have up the top end of this thing when it goes down. But it seems to work swimmingly well. And now you've got a set of stairs you can walk down without, hopefully, without killing yourself, like a normal person. So there you go. Let's do that. Well, there you go. How's that? Slick. All right. So if I was to do this again, if I was highly motivated, what I would do, as you can see, we put this thing in here and we use the existing truss to mark the left-hand side. I'd like to shift it over 1.5 inches. I could just slide another 2x10 in here and slide this over here to the right, and that would be easy. And if I did that, when this thing went up to the top and it came very close to here, it would give me another 1.5 inch clearance, and that would be a good thing. So that's easy to do. But it's a big deal to take this down and start from scratch, basically, is what I would be doing. The other thing, when this thing comes up, this yellow part which says do not store items in this bay, it's very, 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 very close to hitting my ceiling. And it hit these pieces of wood here, so I trimmed them down. Well, I can move it back 4, 5, 6 inches, and that problem would be over. And it's not a big deal to do that. So there was a header here, a 2x10 header, as you can see, but there's nothing preventing me from moving it back 3 inches, and that would be nice. And you say, well, yeah, but then how's this going to work, because this railing here is going to be in the way? Well, if I moved it over 1.5 inches, it wouldn't be in the way, and it would fit right between it. But we learned, because I didn't center this, so I should have centered my opening between these two trusses for the 29.5 inches. Fail. But it's okay. It works great. It works fine. The adjustments are just more critical because I didn't do that. But again, if I was to do it again, slide it over so this is centered. Additionally, okay, the 119-inch opening comes up, this landing up here. I could have slid that back several inches, 2 or 3 inches, and that would have really made things a lot easier on this end. And that's a story, and I'm sticking with it. Well, that concludes another episode of Wayne's World Garage. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and please leave a comment if you've got anything useful to say. And if you don't have anything useful, leave a comment anyway. In the description, I'll leave a link to the website for the Majic Stair product. It's a great product. Ron has been fantastic by answering phone calls. Any questions I've got, he's great at explaining them. So give him a call and check him out. They're great people. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by him. Thanks again.